July 16th, 2017. We here today with the family. Workshop OSOICE workshop with a welcome. We got some newcomers on the call, but this energy here just ready to be put out, to the masses for those who are in search of a new information. Because one thing for certain, everybody talking about Malachi Z. York right now, and that's a good thing. So
Right.
this platform is for those who in seek of his knowledge, because he the best who ever did it, and we're here today with his son ATUN-RE The Real Messiah. Continue the mission. So we're just sharing some dialogue, and we had Elder Hubris on. It's Elder Hubris. I want to make sure I get it right.
Husri. Husri.
Hubris. I'm way wrong.
Husri. That's okay, bro.
But it's beautiful when you say it, though. It's beautiful. I like how you put it, Elder Hubris. It's like almost Ethiopian or something.
No, it's Husri.
Hubris. I like that.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining the call, Elder. We want to we would love, we know you from the Ansaaru community days. You're one of the elders who moved down from New York to Augusta to join Bob on the mission of rebuilding the entire community. And he said it was quite a few people from upstate moved down with Bob to join him, in this mission, because this is really a hands-on, and we're stronger as a community. We come together as a people and do it collectively, we can get a whole lot done. But now it's like they separate 6 feet, separate division. I see why they're spreading that, because that's where we're weaker at. Because anything's better together. So Elder, you mind? You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and share some of your history, your background with with the nation?
Who, me?
Yes, sir. I mean, as Elder, excuse me, sir. I know sir is not a good thing. Not a good phrase. It's really So I want to say yes, Elder, or noble. Noble. You mind sharing? Some backstories of back in the days and on the land and stuff like that. You want to share, anything in particular? We love share it. Mm-hmm.
Well, well, when I was in the community, um, uh, I was there. Looking back now, I was there for a particular reason. At that time, because the master teacher was going through a lot of stuff with all those people that were around him at that time. And I used to hear him say certain things like, he keeps his enemies close, and the people that truly love him is far away. And I didn't think about that when he first said it, but going forward, I used to hear him say things like, people are not tabliking or teaching the people the doctrine, because a lot of people used to have, stuff like jewelry, silver, all kind of junk on the table, and the books were underneath the table in boxes. So the people that came to the table were totally unaware that the real mission was the books, the oils, and the incense. Okay, and unless somebody knew of the information that they had, and if they didn't ask for it, they wouldn't go down there and pull it out. So these kind of people were bringing money like $2,000 a week, $1,000, $1,500, stuff like that. And I was new to the community because I was in Shabbat, and I was totally unaware of how to generate that kind of money, because I was just someone trying to tabligh somebody and show them that this was the way they need to go. I was pure at heart. I was trying to tell people that you need to read this book. You need to step away from the religion. I'm not telling you to stop. Just check this out. Just trying to tell people that, look, you need to take a look at this. We have something in our midst now that would either enhance what you got or make you change your mind. And this is what I used to try and do. And I used to carry my table around with me because I didn't stay in one spot. But you know, I didn't make much money, you know, and that was embarrassing on Friday because the captain would read off how much each individual would bring in, and it was embarrassing. You know, you come in there with that little $35, and the quota was like $100. You know, you come in with $35, and you're hungry than a low boat wolf. You can't buy nothing because you know you trying to do the best you can and give whatever you had. You know, I used to give books away. You know, I didn't give the oils and incense away. I didn't do that. I just gave, you know, the books. So that's what the master teacher said. You can give the books away, you know, to somebody who really look like they really are interested in that book. So when I did stop, you know, and set up my table, all I had on my table was the books, the oils, and the incense. That's it, you know. So well, on Friday evening, he would read that stuff, and I used to hate to have to go up there because he would really rag you out, you know. And you knew that everybody was watching because everything was on camera, and you knew the women were watching you, and that was embarrassing, you know. And
You said they had captains. You said they had like captains.
yeah, Captain Suleiman, that was his name.
Suleiman.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Suleiman. So and the master teacher used to always tell me, say,
Hey,
look,
I mean, cut
young
you off, but like, what other kind of order or like, how was it organized to a degree from like to the public? You know, how
it was
you it was
it was
organized to the within the community.
yeah, it was very well organized. I mean, we had that whole area from Broadway to Hart Street to Sudan, Hart Street, you know, all those houses in that area. Massachusetts had bought all those houses right there. And there was no crime in that whole area from all the way to Broadway, all the way to, I don't know, Myrtle Avenue, all the way back down, what's that, Palmetto, and what was the name of that street? Oh, boy, what was the name of that street? I can't remember the name of that street. That was the next street over from Broadway. I can't remember the name of that street. But there was no crime in that area. Everybody used to love to walk in the area because, you know, they knew that we were there and you were safe, you know, because, you know, we weren't playing, you know. So everything was very much organized. You know, you had the guards outside.
Like businesses and other, like, you talking in New York, correct? I want to make sure everybody can follow. You saying in New York, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we had a restaurant, had the bookstore. The bookstore was beautiful. You know, I mean, it had the intricate tapestry all over the wall, the molding, stuff like that. You know, the masjid was beautiful. It had the I don't know what you call it, but the crescent and the moon on the top of the masjid, and the and the I don't know how they did it, but it looked like you were in the Middle East somewhere, or you were, you know, somewhere in that area, because we were the best of Muslims, you know, because you go somewhere else, these other people, they had storefronts, you know what I mean, and they would always try and you know, verse us. They would you know, violently verse us, you know, because if you put them in a corner somewhere, they would be ready to fight. And that was, you know, that was the cue for you to, okay, it's time to go. You know, the Israelites, they were the worst. Okay, because we used to gang up together and go down to 42nd Street and try and shut them down, because you couldn't go down there and ask them nothing, because they were standing there with baseball bats with nails in them, and they would be standing there in all black with studs and the bracelets with the studs, and you know, I mean, they look like a bunch of fallen angels. That's what they look like, and you know, and you know, as far as the organization went, it went from word of mouth, because they saw us everywhere. We were on the train. We would get on the train and walk from one end of the train to the other, and you know, hold the books up, and we would ask for donations. We would speak about the community and ask for donations. And we got, you know, people will respond that way. They would, you know, give us a chance, because they knew that we weren't just out there just begging for money for drugs and stuff like that. So everything we did you know, was organized, and you know, I don't know if we can. Yeah, we probably could do that again, but I don't know where it would be set up like that. But uh, um, it's a lot to take in actually. It's a lot to do to get to that point because the math teacher started out on his own. The stories he used to tell us, he used to go out there and walk from Brooklyn all the way to the Bronx, and I started doing that myself. And that's not no short distance because Manhattan is like 12 miles long, and if I'm walking all the way through
But
Manhattan, yes, from Brooklyn all the way through Manhattan to the Bronx, okay, and there's
how
a
many
I
miles
used
is it?
to, I
About
used
20
to
miles?
yeah, it's about that much. It's about that much.
He used to go there and sell books after that. Like, what he should do when he got there? Like, what was the plan?
Um, the plan was to sell books on the way, because people would see they
Oh,
knew us by then. Yeah,
oh, y'all was
so
walking and moving and selling books at the same time. I see what you're saying.
exactly.
Okay.
But see, I didn't have the right teacher, So when I started complaining about that, and I told them, I said, because the math teacher used to complain about the people not having the books on the table. So I got tired of them, ragging me out. So I got on there. I told him, I said, look, Dr. York, didn't you tell us not to put these? And no, at the time it was Imam Isa. Didn't you tell us not to put junk on the table? You said to display the book. He said, yeah. I said, well, I don't see that happen. I said, I still see nothing but junk on the table, and I don't see no books. I don't see none of that. So, I come in here and I get embarrassed and this, that, that, and then he just ragged them, and that's when I felt good. But the brothers that didn't like that after that. They hated me after that, okay? Because that started realizing when he said, he keep his enemies close to him. He was talking about most of them because he was saying most of them was devils, and I didn't think it was like that because I thought it was like some big loving place, and you had all these good people with the white robes, and there was good, clean smelling people, and they used to always wear the oils, and they all smelled good, and they all looked good, I had the wrong impression because you had more devils there than anywhere. It was a concentration of them right there. Then I started realizing what the master teacher was talking about, or why he wanted to keep his enemies close to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't keep an eye on them like that. So then I started realizing what he meant by that. You got to keep them people close to him, and the people that truly love him is far away. You know, and I started realizing that I was one of those people that truly love him. And I would never deviate from the teaching ever. I don't care where I'm at, who's around. You're not going to get me to say something that he didn't say. If he didn't say it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Love
So
never stop loving. If you're gonna love somebody, you're gonna love them regardless of ups and
that's
downs.
right. That's right. That's right. That goes all the way through everything that he ever did, the books, everything. That's my love for him. You sacrifice yourself, put yourself on the line every time, every Sunday, a newcomer's class or whatever. You put yourself on the line because you don't know. They didn't search nobody. You come in there with a gun and bow, you just shoot up the place. But he
No,
put himself out.
they had protection in there. If you look at the in the particular video of Dr. York, it's on me. The video at 3 minutes
Yeah,
and I think it's 40 or 50-second mark. You see an actual, different type of being in the video. Like if you pause it, I think it's at 3:30 the time, or I think it's 3:50, but it's a particular unique time to where you can see it's like look like one of the beings from the Holy Tablet. And I think Bob put that in there for a reason because he had spiritual beings and different spiritual beings around him. But with that said, I want to also add to what you're speaking on is that you were saying the people who had Baba had closest to him in regards, probably at the same time, they probably was seeing a lot of the, the resources from different perspectives. And we all know money is the root of all evil. So it's like, I wonder, is that just the source of it, because the concept of money and how we need it for survival, and being able to like balance that with spirituality and being here physically and having work with the community and sharing, is rough. But I guess that's why this current system, I guess in ancient, I guess Samaria, they created the mathematical systems and the legal systems, and I guess the governmental systems. So you have those laws, and then you got the book of Hammurabi with the book of that came from um, the Code of Hammurabi, which was written by the Emperor Hammurabi in that day and age, in regards to it was laws and rules coming straight from the from new. So it was like, I guess we need those laws. That's why ATUN-RE said he want disciplinaries around him, and not he don't want those people that's worship him. He want disciplinaries, people that's about business and working on the
Yeah.
continuum. So I get it. So it's like it's just a. So how do you think, Elder? If I can ask, it's all that you can balance the money, relationships, community, I mean, the balance in there. What do you think? How do you think they can do it in this day and age?
Well, they would have to mimic the same thing that happened at that time, because you have to, balance your time. You have to spend time with your wife. You have to go to work. You have to make money. So I imagine you have to do the same thing again. You know what I mean? The same way it was done the first time. So it won't be a problem, because everybody's going to have to be, in agreement with what we're there for. Male, female, doesn't matter. Everybody's going to have to be in agreement, and you're going to have to realize we have a nation to build, and it's going to take this. It's not about just you. It's about all of us. You know what I'm saying? We have to live for, of, and by each other. That's what the master teacher always said. And to set it up that way. And if you're not in agreement with that, then you with the wrong person. You know what I mean? So, everybody has to pull their weight in one way or another. If you're good at household or watching the children or teaching, whatever your job is, that's what you would do. He's gonna put you somewhere that you're totally unfamiliar with, unless you get trained for that. So everybody's gonna have to pitch in and do what they, do the best that they can for the community. It's about the community and the love of each other to build that, and we have to all be on the same page, because that's the way it was back then. Even though there was a bunch of negative people, but they were always being watched. So you just didn't go out and just do stuff right out in the open. You didn't do stuff like that. So you were always mindful of what's going on. And the main goal was to build this community. That was the number one thing, and that's what has to be.
Oh, and that's that. I'm good. I mean, that just goes to show that ATUN-RE, he's here to remind us of how Baba had did it, of that day,
Right.
because it's just what it is. And he's here, this is being established now. The communities, those reestablished communities of those days, of us working together by each other, for each other, even from a digital standpoint, because we're doing the Zoom, just doing our best of shooting our jump, or just trying to attempt to, continue to elevate people in a time like this, because there's a lot going on in the world and people can still need information. They still need, to get, they still need information, period, because we got to survive. And I feel like if you can, take a different route to get to the source, but somebody can tell you a better route, why not listen to them? I mean, that's where wisdom
Yeah.
comes in that, so I like listening to you like yourself, your elders, because most of my friends are elders. I don't hang around people my age, or, I do to a degree, but, I like listening to elders because y'all have that experience, and, y'all been there, just to have those tones and just kind of can see it, and, kind of can, use your example from your perspectives. It's always good to hear that, and we thank you for being, with us today. And then like ATUN-RE, he's an elder himself, and he sounds just like Bob, and like they're how they do things. Now, can you please share the story about, I know you were talking one time how him and ATUN-RE and Bob, how they sounded like. You saying they had the same mannerisms and stuff?
Oh yeah, they have the same mannerism, even the tonation. certain words that ATUN-RE says, they match perfectly with the way the master teacher speaks, or the tonation of like at the end of a sentence or something like that. For instance, when he says something like, because he like to say, he'll leave one word off at the end. I'm talking about ATUN-RE. He'll leave off one word, and then he'll say that word. Well, we usually say the word because we know what he's what he's looking for. He'll say that word, you know, and the master teacher does the same thing. He'll say something like, "You follow," and I heard ATUN-RE say, "You follow," the same exact way, and it sounds just like him. Okay, I'm talking about tonation and the sound. It sounds just like, if you put them together, you would know that they were two different people. You would, for me, it sounds like the same person, but not everything. You know, like I said, I call him the little man with the big voice. You know what I mean? And he just like the master teacher was like that too. You know, he wasn't that tall either. You know, and he had a big voice because he had a lot to say. The same thing with ATUN-RE. You know, he has a lot to say, and what he says has substance. You know, stuff that I'm unfamiliar with. He's showing me, you know, and I know that he is the Messiah. He is who he says he is. I don't have to. You don't have to tell me, or I don't have to go digging to find out or ask him. I don't have to do none of that. Because all I got to do is listen. That's all I have to do. I just listen.
Truth is truth.
That first tape I listened to, that was enough for me. I said, okay, yeah, that's what we were waiting for. Okay, and that's all I need. You know. So yeah, but there's a lot of stuff, or a lot of pronunciations of words that he'll say the same way that the master teacher speaks, and he does the same, and it's natural. It's not that he's trying to copy off him. It's like I heard that ridiculous thing, they operate on his throat so he can sound like him. That is such a crock of crap. Okay, I mean, well, how ridiculous can you get? You know? I mean, it's about the information, okay? The information. Nobody else can match that, okay, other than the master teacher, and you know where he at. So, and you show me somebody else out here that can match that, and I'll take a seat where he's at. It ain't gonna happen. So that's how I know. I ain't got to look no further. You know what I mean? So that's it. And I know that this brother is who he says he is. You know, so. I experienced that with the master teacher, and I'm experiencing the same thing with this brother here. You know, because all I had to do was listen. You know, and my listening or whatever I ingested didn't never lead me wrong. The master teacher told me one time that I'm a very old soul, and for a long time I didn't know what he meant by that either. Then he started talking about being 76 trillion years old and being in air pockets and the triple darkness and stuff like that, you know. And he never said how old I was, but he said I was a very old soul, you know. And I was trying to figure out, well, exactly where do I fit in that? Because if my soul goes back that far, I must have experienced something along that realm. I'm not gonna say that I was right there with him. I'm not gonna do that because I don't know. You know what I mean? Right now, I don't know where I was. And like ATUN-RE said, he's the reminder. Okay, he's here to make me remember. So I've experienced some things that I have to question myself even right now about things that that pops into my head. And I question, say, well, where did that come from? And he says, well, that's those beings that put that information there, you know, and otherwise, then where did that come from? You know, I must be vibrating to a point to where they can, drop certain information or something like that on me, where and put me in question. It makes me think, and it makes me look at myself even further, because now I'm starting to think that I am older than what I think I am. It didn't just happen in this physical life. It happened long ago. I still get the tones. I'm 67 years old, and I still get the tone. For a long time I was afraid to tell somebody that, because I thought maybe they would look at me like I was a nut or something. When I heard the master teacher talking about that, I was like, oh wow, what a relief. Just like when I saw that craft. I didn't tell nobody about that for a long time. I didn't say nothing about that for a long time. And then when I got a hold of one of the books, and I started seeing these different crafts, and I saw the shit that I saw in there, I was so relieved, because I thought I was the only one. Because when back in the days, 60s and 70s, when you see something like that, you don't want nobody to think that you were outcast or you some kind of nut.
You can share the story about you saw a UFO. What happened?
Yeah, this was in Brooklyn. I was coming up Hopkinson Avenue, and I had just purchased some weed. I ain't gonna lie, I was a weed head too. I just went to Marion Street on Hopkinson Avenue. I was coming back up the hill, going towards Fulton Street, right? And all of a sudden, out my peripheral vision on the right side, I happened to look up. There was this shiny thing up in the sky, and I saw it. It was metallic silver in color, and a green light underneath going around and around like that. And this was a summer night, and it's about 10:30. I looked down. I was in an intersection too. I looked down all four streets, and nobody was on the block but me. So I came to the realization that was for me. And I guess if somebody else saw it, they're not saying nothing either, So I looked at it until, and I said, well, okay, now what you going to do? And then not too long after that, it moved real quick to the right.
How big was it?
How big was it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it was about maybe 50 feet in diameter. About 50 feet in diameter. It had like a dome on the top,
like
and the green light.
Have a football field, like I have a football field.
Yeah, about that big, and it looked like it had portals around the side of it,
Right.
And it didn't make a sound. And the second time that it moved, it took off like I ain't never seen nothing that big move that quick. It wasn't no helicopter, wasn't no plane, nothing like that on Earth moved that quick. Okay, and at that time the community was on what was that, St. John? I think it was St. John. That was one of the streets in Brooklyn. Was it St. John's? Or Eastern Parkway, or somewhere the community was there at first, okay? And it was hovering in that area, and I just happened to look up and saw it, And but I never asked him as a teacher about that, because that was long before I even knew anything about the community. But the community was active at the time. Yeah, he was active at the time. So yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna roll on now. You seen some things.
Yeah, I've seen some strange things. I've experienced some strange things too. Because 1975, I was supposed to. They said I was supposed to have been dead. I got stabbed 16 times trying to protect somebody that I shouldn't have been involved as much as I was. And I'm trying to protect them from this. Matter of fact, it was my girlfriend at the time, and her mother's boyfriend used to get them drunk and take the little money they used to get for the month, and they end up having a hard time for the rest of the month. I was in Job Corps at the time. I think I was like 21. Yeah. And the younger sister went up to the front of the apartment to tell him to stop taking advantage of their mom, and he slapped her. Pow! And I heard it all the way in the back room. I said, oh, man, I got to, what kind of man would I be if I didn't do nothing? So I went up there to the front, and I confirmed. I said, yo, man, you ain't got no business putting your hands on her. Her father lives on Walton Avenue. I was in the Bronx at the time. Her father lives on Walton Avenue. And I picked up the little kindergarten chair, the little school chair with the little metal frame and the little wooden seat and the wooden back. Yeah, one of those there. I picked that up because he knew I wasn't playing. I was going to crown him right there, putting his hands on her. And he said, yeah, okay, yeah, you got that. And he left. So, not too long after, he must have been gone for about 2 hours or something like that. And he came back. And I misjudged that situation because, I underestimated the scene, and I didn't put it in a perspective to where he might be coming back. And he came back. He came back with somebody, and they both jumped me. We were fighting like crazy, and every time the one that would stab me, I would grab the other one. I would hold him in front of me, and I had a real strong kung fu grip on him, and I would put him in front of me so that the guy had to reach over me and try and stab me. And when he did that, I put the dude in front of me. And he stabbed in my arm like 6 times, my left arm, and he stabbed me in the rest of my body, because, we were just rumbling. And by that time, it was blood all over the floor. It was real slippery. And, it was just a mess. I stayed in the hospital a month and 3 weeks with 2 punctured lungs. And the only vital organs that they hit were my lungs. They ain't hit nothing else. So I lived through that. And, and that woman that I was trying to protect, that same year, she got pregnant with somebody else's child, and, yeah, so, like I said, I went through some stuff. But I knew that I knew, see, because the voices or the spirits used to talk to me and tell me, this is not where you need to be. Because when I met her that
woman
first
alone.
night, yeah. It told me, you don't need to belong. You don't need to be here. Keep it moving. And I didn't listen. And I think about that a lot. And my teacher said, don't regret anything you did. Because whatever happened was supposed to happen. Okay? So I had to start learning how to look at things in that manner.
Right.
And yeah, so that was another spanking that I got for not listening. Yeah. So
I be getting spanked too. I be having to walk. Like I find myself stuck somewhere and just like having to walk. I just be like, oh man, I'm being punished right now. Or it just be something that don't go my way. I know it'd be the elders
yeah.
punishing me. It'd be like, yeah. So but
Yeah.
it's good, sometimes that walking good so you can clear, get clear thoughts too. You can walk it out, You say,
Oh
with the
yeah.
Ansaaru community, I used to walk a lot, so that does help. And then, I'm right now, well, I know it's off subject, but I'm walking in the grass right now. My shoes off. Right, to say do it like that, get in the grass, shoes off, to touch the earth.
Oh man, that's you're making a connection because the shoes used to be leather soles, so you made a connection. What I'm saying, with the earth, and then they started making those rubber soles, insulating you from the connection with the earth. So
like 6 feet.
Yeah, so they're doing everything they can, to keep us from making that connection because we need to make that connection. We go hand in hand with this planet because we came from the planet. The physical part of us actually came from the planet. And we need to make that connection. We are part of the planet. We are part of everything in creation. Why not be part of the planet? Our DNA is in the soil. So, everywhere on this planet Earth, the topography of the land, we've been on every part of this planet. There's no place we haven't been, you know. So that's why you find those Tamils digging up, disrespectfully digging up burial grounds, looking for, what are they looking for? They're looking for something that would solidify the fact that maybe they've been there, but they always find us, you know. And that's why they disrespect it. I mean, because even if it's 6,000 years old, why doesn't it get the same respect as somebody was buried 2 weeks ago? You know what I'm saying? So that's they don't have no respect for that, you know. And you know, that's what the way you gotta look. Those are just they're ghouls. You know what a ghoul is? A ghoul is a grave robbing zombie type, you know, spirit that you know, with the long nails and the jagged teeth that, you know, I don't know if you know what a fluger rod looks like, you know. And, yeah, it looks like that, you know. So that and man, if you look at them closely, they look just like that, you know. So we gotta be mindful that these people don't mean us no good, you know.
Right.
And yeah, so another thing I had to learn how to do is not to lump them all up in one basket, because they're all not the same. Like the master teacher said,
we all like individual fingerprints, and like ATUN-RE teachers, you know,
yeah,
different personalities and
exactly,
everything. Oh,
yes, yeah. So I had to learn that because I was a big hater of Tamils at one time in my life. I ain't gonna lie, I used to hate them, man. You know, the stuff they did and the oppressed stuff that we used to go through and can't get the same thing they got. You know, and you know, I mean, I was a advocate of the hate mongers of the you know, you know, that's who I was, and I had to be taught how not to be like that. You know, because you got a lot of people like the mulattoes, you know, who play both sides of the fence. You know, then when I started, when I seen that guy that was on was a Tuskegee Airman, and he looked like a Tamahoo, but he was a Nubian. I was like, oh wow, look at this. You know, yeah, he was a Nubian.
the same
You
way
know,
my
and
bro, you know, because it's like I did corporate for a long time, and you know, working around Caucasian, I feel like it drained my energy more, which is very exhausting. You know, it's just like I've always like having to do more. I felt, you know, so that's why it's like it's difficult for me in corporate. You know, working around, you know, Caucasians, and it's hard. I'd rather do business. I mean, with Nubian people, it's very difficult doing business with Nubian people, but I find more joy in it. You know, I find more purpose in it. You know, like
yeah,
I like it more. I know I share a quick story that we probably have to roll off the call. You know, because I know I love sharing information. A lot of us are caregivers, like ATUN-RE say. You know, we're like caregivers to the earth. And then I know one time I went to Vegas, I had opportunity to go to Vegas. I'll share the story, the details of it later, but I had opportunity to bring some books back from Vegas that I got from a computer show. I wanted to go see Bill Gates. I wanted to go see Gates speak. And I was bringing these books back, man. I was trying to share them with the students. I almost missed my plane carrying these books back. I got them free at the show. And then I get back to the classroom. I went to HBCU college. Them niggas didn't even want the books. I'm like, man, y'all tripping. Because it didn't have nothing to do with
wow,
the class. So I was like, man, you know, it's just like us like connecting and working together, learning together. It's like always that disconnect there. But I think it's gonna get better though. This whole COVID thing, when it's time for us to come back together, we're gonna love it. We're gonna be like, man, I never wanna be separated again. It's like a prison within the prison. You know, so Elder, you know, you got
yeah.
any closing things you wanna say? Close out the call?
Is somebody else on the call?
No, I was saying like we're gonna close out the call. I think it's been about an hour. The shows normally last an hour, so any
Oh,
closing remarks you wanna leave us with?
uh, well, I mean, I
Anything
mean,
you wanna share? Or like, you know, how you like being OSOICE? How you like being OSOICE?
well, this is the culmination of everything of my life. It led me to this. Like I was saying earlier about Jonas, you know,
Right.
and what Jonas had to do, you know, because he didn't want to be responsible, you know, for a long time. He didn't want to be responsible. He feared what the people were like, and I found myself in the same situation, just like him. because you got a bunch of hard-headed, stiff-necked people that didn't want to listen to you. They would curse you out and tell you, and that's what made me realize that he went through the same exact thing, when he got on that ship and was going across the whatever ocean that was, and that storm had happened, and people got afraid, and they looked at him and said, "Oh, wait, we got to get rid of this dude because, he going to cause all of us to die." They took him and threw him over the side, and the whale swallowed him up and brought him all the way back to where he started out, and I felt like that's the same thing that happened to me, because every time I fell away, I always end up coming back to where I left off at. So this is the final culmination. There's no more falling off for me. I have no more falling off to do, because I know that this is the real, all of it was real, but this was what I lived my whole life for. Because I'd sit there and I reminisce on just about everything I think about. Even before I started walking, I could see a scene when I was laying on a bed at 200 West 131st Street. I wasn't even able to walk yet. I remember what the room looked like and the way that light was on the side of the wall. And those projects, the light was on the side of the wall. It wasn't up in the ceiling. It was on the side of the wall. And you would turn the switch on the bottom of that, that light switch. There was no covering there. And I remember seeing that scene. And I'm looking at why was nobody in that room with me. And I used to always think, well, my parents wasn't the kind of people that was the loving kind of people that would always, oh, come here, baby, this, that, and that. That wasn't what I was supposed to have, okay? Because I would have turned out to have been something else had it been like that. But those are the things that I wanted. But those things that you want don't mean that that's what you're supposed to have. Because it might have been that that might have been the worst thing for me. Because, I didn't need that, because that love that I'm looking for, that real love, and the love that I gave to people that didn't, that I shouldn't have gave it to like that, or that love was supposed to go to the Most High. Okay, so that taught me another lesson about love, and that love that you've given to a person. Either you're gonna love that person, or you're gonna forget someone else, or the Most High. You're not gonna be equal in that. So rather than do that and understand that it's just a commitment that you get in with a woman. It's just a commitment. That's it. All that I love you, baby, and all that was totally not the way it's supposed to go. I'm realizing that now. It's about you both realizing that you're there to live life together and build together. That's about it. All that love stuff, that love goes to the Most High. That's who that love is for my opinion. I could, I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's the way I see that. So, and the love for everybody, not just singling one person out, because, that's not the way this is supposed to go. I'm finding this out in my later years, that's the way it was intended to be. You're supposed to love the entire population of the planet, all the people, no matter who they are. And I'm finding out ATUN-RE talking about he could convert the devil. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. This dude got his foot up our ass all the time, and he's gonna try and what, and I had to realize what he meant by that. You know what I mean? So it's not about just love for the people that you're thinking about, or that don't go beyond what you think it should go. You got to go as far as this devil, this one who got his foot on your neck, and huh?
No, I was just wanted to clear up and say that you were saying how we gonna do it. He was saying ATUN-RE says he can beat the devil. You was like, wow, you the guy said he can beat the devil. Wow, that's like a big accomplishment. But one of the ways we will do it that he's teaching us is that if we work together as a unit and come together as OSOICE and do things collectively, that's winning. You see, like
Right.
anytime we do something in this order, in this organization, for it, buy it, support it, do something, shoot a jumper, make a call, invite somebody, help spread the truth. It's kicking the devil in the butt. You see, and
Right.
more and more we do that, the more energy get turned to us, and the elders in the heavens, they be like, wow. So they are starting to work together more and more. They are starting to come together. So let's give them more.
Right.
They can handle it. Because they showing it by example. They're not just being selfish. I know
Right.
people may come up with me as selfish, but I see it. I visually can see it. But like physically, it's hard. But I can spiritually see us all working together. It's gonna be one day in time where it's gonna be that. It's natural. The order. But right now, it's just because this whole what's going on. But we got to continue to do it because we were stronger that way and make it happen.
Exactly.
So we're gonna close out the
Yeah.
call, Elder. Thank you for your time, Noble.
Thank you.
Yep, El. So again, family, peace and love to everyone. This is ATUN-RE OSOICE workshop. Wonderful, everybody that's listening in. We love you dearly. Please check the website, osoice.org. And call us anytime, 24 hours a day. Peace and love. Shout it out.
Shut it out.